Why do you exist? Can you know why you exist? Is there any reason why you exist, or is it all just nonsense? In fact, when we ask the question, what is the meaning of life? People just laugh, because the idea is that life is just absurd. There is no meaning to life. You're just here and then you're gone and that's it. But is that all there is? Is there not something more to life? Surely life has some meaning beyond here we are and here we're not. So we live in a world where science is king, or it's called science, and science says. But what does science actually say? Science doesn't actually say anything at all. Science is a discipline of study. Scientists do science, they study, they observe, they record, and they give their opinions. And their opinions are called science. But what science has become is something you must believe, and if you don't believe it, there's something wrong with you. And what science actually has become is scientism. It has become a religion. And if you don't believe it, well, you're out. You're no longer taken seriously, because it is the religion of truth. In fact, a lot of scientists would say the only way you can know truth is through scientific observation and the scientific method. Without that, truth cannot be known. But the interesting thing about this statement is you cannot prove this statement with the scientific method, with the observation and experimentation method. It doesn't work. Therefore, we can see that this claim that the only way to understand truth or to know truth is through the scientific method is false. The statement breaks down itself. It is self-defeating, and it doesn't work. So the only way to know truth is not through science. There's a different way to know truth. And when it comes to meaning, the problem is our scientific belief system says that in the beginning there was nothing, there was nowhere, at no time, because there was absolutely nothing. It exploded, according to Krauss? I think it's Krauss. Anyway, one of these guys. The absolutely nothing in no place at no time exploded, and shortly after that it had a massive expansion, and then it stopped expanding, and here we are today. This scientism is very dangerous, and it is a belief system, and if you don't believe it, there's something wrong with you in our society. You can't be taken seriously. And it is a religion, and it is a false religion, and it's got a false prophet. His name is Darwin. He was one of the bigger ones, but you also have more false prophets who stand up and proclaim that the only rational way of thinking is an evolutionary way of thinking. But the problem with this is that what does the universe, this empty chance material and energy universe and nothing more, all there is material and energy, this is called materialism, there's nothing more. What does it tell us about why we're here? Well, it tells us there isn't any reason why you're here. You don't have any meaning, you don't have any value, don't bother looking. In fact, Dawkins would say you need to just get used to the idea that you have no meaning. Just get used to it, stop worrying about it. And that is the problem, and the reason our world is in such a catastrophic state and evil things happen on the level that they do, the reason for Hitler and Stalin and what's happening in China and further around the world is because of this religion, this materialist religion of nothing became everything by chance, and you have no meaning, you have no value. Therefore, anything can happen to you. It doesn't really matter. You don't matter. And yet, nobody lives this way. Nobody lives this way. We all live as if we have meaning and value. Everybody does. And we live as if other people have meaning and value. And if we don't, then there's something wrong with us and we become dangerous to society. So what's the answer? We have this craving for meaning, which Dawkins admits, yes, you've got this craving for meaning, get over it. But why do we have this craving for meaning? There is a reason why we have this craving for meaning. What is it? If God is there, if there is an infinite personal creator God, then life has meaning. If this infinite personal creator God has spoken and communicated with us, which he has, life has meaning, real, deep meaning. And the question, what's life all about, gets answered in him. And not only has he communicated to us with words which have been written down in a technology, people say, oh, it's just an old book. Hey, we all use books every day. It's a technology we still use. I just bought a book yesterday. We use books all the time. Don't write off a book because you don't like what might be in it. You probably never read it anyway. And those of you who have read the book realize this is where we get meaning from. This is what life is all about. I look here at this scene that you can't see, because maybe I'll show you later. But it's beautiful. Where does beauty come from? Well, a creator who likes beauty. But this creator's not just spoken, he's been here. 2,000 years ago, he walked this earth. He became one of us so that we could know him. And he communicated with us. And he spoke, and he made it clear that we have problems. We're a mess. And it's not hard to see that we're a mess. You know, just look at the people around you. You can see they're a mess. And if you look closely in the mirror and you're honest enough, you can see you're a mess. And you need help. And why this yearning for meaning that seems to be unanswerable? Well, because we were made to know God. We were made to know the Creator. And what has happened? There's been a separation between us and our Creator. And that separation is caused by our rebellion. Because we want to do what we want to do, and we don't want God or anyone else telling us what to do. We want to be the boss. And so we reject God. And we're left with this sense of meaninglessness. And we get a sense of meaning from things we do and things we achieve, but it's transient. It disappears. It doesn't hang around long, and it's gone. And when we fail, then unless we just got a massive big head and we just think we're so wonderful that, well, we won't go into that. But Jesus came to show us the truth, and he said that he is the truth. And he says this, "Come to me, all you are weary and burdened, and I'll give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I'm gentle and humble in heart, and you'll find rest for your souls, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light." And he wants to give us a new life. He wants us to walk with him spiritually. And when we turn to him, believing that what he did on the cross is enough to wipe out our guilt, to wipe out our rebellion, our sin, and to give us a new life, and to give us his goodness credited to our account, he puts his Spirit in us, we get a new life, and life means something. It means something. And you can only know that when you taste and see that the Lord is good. How do you explain how something tastes? Well, you can't. Ultimately, in order to know what something tastes like, you have to have a bite. In order to know what God really tastes like, not what the materialists tell you God isn't, but in order to know what he's really like, you need to taste and see that he is good, and he is good. Why do you exist? You exist for God. He made you for himself. He made you to love him. He made you to love other people, to live in society, in a social environment with other people. We're on a different adventure. As people who follow Jesus, we're on a different adventure, and it's a great adventure. And it has lots of challenges. There are lots of hardships involved, and there's persecution and difficulty, and that's going to get worse as time moves on, because there's a move in a different direction. But if you want to know the truth, you've got to come to Jesus. He said, I am the way, the truth, and the life, and no one comes to the Father except through me. The only way to know the Creator is through Jesus Christ, the one who died for your sin and who was raised from the dead. His tomb is empty. He is alive. He's broken the power of death. Death is not the end. If it was, he couldn't have come back. Death is not the end. He lives, and he wants to give you new life. One day we're all going to die. But where are you going to spend eternity? If you turn to Jesus as your king, not religion, not this church, that church, or the other church, but Jesus, you will have eternal life. He says, whoever believes in me has eternal life. Whoever believes in him has eternal life, but whoever rejects the Son will not see life, for God's wrath remains on him. Will you turn to Jesus? I look at this beautiful view. Hang on, let me see if I can get this to you to give you the view, because this is really nice. Let's see. Can I see what's on this screen? Oh yeah, there you go. Look at that. Isn't that just a lovely view today? Blue sky would be nicer, but hey, you can't have everything all the time. Why do you exist? Why do you exist? You exist because God made you. He made you to know him and to walk with him. He made you to love him and to love others. He made you, and when you turn to him, you will find real meaning and real purpose that you will not find anywhere else. That the scientific, pseudo-scientific religion of our day, that evolutionary idea of the Big Bang and all that nonsense, that is a false religion. And it will never give you meaning. It will just bring you despair and emptiness. But the true God, the Creator, the infinite personal Creator God, he gives us real meaning, real truth, real hope. Thanks very much for listening. God bless you. Take care. Oh, right. See you in the next video, hopefully. Take care. There's a thumbs up if you like it. Bye.